Manu, if I could ask for a quick solution at this point, is there a quick solution to something like this? The metro line that's coming across Bengaluru city is an ambitious project, and the BMRCL has always compared the metro in Bengaluru to the tube of London. Basically, the metro system in London is something that they compare themselves with.
That's a ridiculous comparison, because the tube in London, if they need to make a new line, is done at sort of 1/100th the pace at that. I mean, 10 times the pace that what something over here takes to get done. You have new lines coming up in London all the time, and new stations, and they're expanding the network and the tube all the time. It happens everywhere in the world. Over here, it just takes forever and ever and ever and ever. First of all, I mean, the tube was a sensible thing because the tube in London runs underground, so it doesn't even really bother people with this ugly sort of bridge running over your head, which is what they probably should have done in the first place. But that's sort of another argument altogether. But the fact of the matter is that obviously over here, someone is somewhere is cutting corners. Now, if you've cut corners in this one place and one pillar's coming crashing down, who's to say that it's not going to happen again somewhere else? We don't know that. We don't know what materials have been used. I don't know what kind of inspections have been done. People are driving and riding bikes under these metro lines all the time. Who knows what can happen tomorrow? We don't know. This is just maybe the tip of the iceberg. Who knows? Let's hope it's the only case where something like this ever happens. But it's actually a pretty horrifying thought.
If I could ask my panel director to show that pillar per se, the pillar that actually crashed, tons of weight. That pillar actually is so heavy. Imagine it falling on the ground straight on the main road where you have heavy traffic there. This is one bike that got trapped. There could have been many other bikes that could have, met a fatal end.
Yeah, it could have been. What if it was under a traffic light and it was piled up? I mean, you know what the traffic in Bangalore is like, and it's, if it was a traffic light and there was a red light over there, there would have been everybody stationary over there, and this thing would have killed hundreds.
Here Megha says that this is the route that she takes. Megha, when you pass by this route, the metro construction, does it lead to bottlenecks? Is it further worsening the traffic snarls on the road? How do you manage to maneuver through that outer ring road stretch?
Yeah, it's horrible, Nabila. So I have been, after the many companies have gone hybrid, so we have seen the traffic increasing now, and it is the whole outer ring road. At least the travel time has increased by 1.5 times. So it is horrible. Not only we put up with this, and there was a promise made by government, it will be finished as soon as possible because it was something to be taken on priority. And so it definitely leads to congestion and bottleneck. On top of this kind of fear now, and as Manu said, that we don't know what is happening. In fact, even the metro gets constructed, there's going to be a fear. We don't know which kind of substandard material is being used, and there are reports of the government officials involved in just certain vendors. They do the commission based contract. The tender is being given to the person who pays the highest the highest bidder
yes, corruption is something that is deep seated, and I wouldn't say that it's specific to one political party. All political parties are guilty of it, but one would still say, if you're still taking bribe, take it, but at least ensure safety of the people. We have come down to that.
Yeah, I mean that we don't have a fair say. We citizens of the country, we don't get to decide. We know that elections are won on the region, right? Love jihad, the Hindu Muslim. So these issues, I'm sure in the next election, which is coming up in Karnataka this year, I don't even know if this will be an election issue. So
I mean, let's just hope this is an election issue. This precisely is what should be taken up in war footing. Manu, a quick word as I wrap with you.
Yeah, sorry. So I was saying maybe this is a wake-up call for all of us to ask the right questions and hold government accountable. We have a time coming up in few months, so let's show them, what we are capable of.
Megha, thank you very much. Manu, I was taking your final word. Should this ideally be the real political campaign now?
Take a bribe, but make sure that the work at least gets done. But I don't think it's, it's as simple as that, because if a person is giving a bribe, if something is going to cost $100 and he has to pay $40 out of that, and he's left with only $60, then he has to cut corners somewhere to finish that job in the $60. Now, obviously, the only way to do that is to cut corners and use slightly cheaper materials.
Right.
Now, I don't know if that was the case over here, but I mean, if that is something where if he's giving a commission to somebody or he's giving a bribe to somebody else and he has to cut corners, then he is going to cut corners. And who's inspecting this stuff after that?
No, it's a complete responsibility of the BMRCL.
Anyway.
Absolutely.